Volkanovski is still the best guy in the division since Ilia Topuria left. I think that Volkanovski is just going to dominate Diego Lopes. He's going to beat him everywhere. He's going to do whatever he wants. Yo, what's up, boys? Coming here with a quick picks breakdown on UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Lopes. I recorded the whole video and I found out that my headphones weren't plugged in, so there was no audio, so I'm a little bit over it. So we're just going to go rapid fire. Nora versus Hailey. I think that Hailey gets it done by decision. I think that she'll be able to get the takedowns against Nora. I think that Nora is pretty powerful. She is a good striker. She probably is a better striker than Hailey, but I think that Hailey overall is going to be better. I think that she'll be able to get the control time. I think that Nora is fine with getting pressed up against the fence, so I'm going to be picking Hailey by decision. Low confidence in the pick, though. Tresean Gore versus Marco Tulio. I think that Marco Tulio is the better striker here. Gore, he isn't that proven. He doesn't have many fights. Tulio, he has power. He has takedowns as well. I think that Gore can definitely make an upset here, but I like Tulio. I think that he has good power. He has some good clean strikes, so give me Tulio by knockout. Low medium confidence. Tszyu versus Mitch Raposo. I'd say that Mitch Raposo, he isn't UFC level. I think that his takedowns aren't the best, but that's his only game plan to win this fight, just because Tszyu is going to be the way better striker in this matchup. I think that Tszyu can get taken down. Definitely has a weakness to getting submitted. But I'd say that Mitch Raposo's submission game isn't that good. I think his takedowns are going to be struggling against Tszyu, and I think that Tszyu is just going to be the long rangey fighter. I think that he ends up fighting the knockout, but it's a low confidence in him getting the knockout. Low medium confidence in Tszyu. I think that Mitch Raposo just isn't UFC level. Sedriques Dumas versus Michal. I think that Michal honestly cooks Sedriques Dumas. Sedriques Dumas, I also don't feel like is the most UFC worthy, even though he has like three wins in the UFC, or 4 maybe. I feel like those wins aren't the best. I think that a lot of the performances he's had where he just gets the takedowns, lays on top of them, doesn't do too much. It's usually against people who don't have the best wrestling, which Michal probably doesn't have the best wrestling, but I think the striking is just way better. I think that he has knockout power. He has first round knockout power, and that is going to be my prediction. Michal by first round knockout. Pretty confident in Michal. Medium high confidence in him. I think that he's definitely got to get it done. Next up, Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. I think this one is a closer one, especially than the odds have it. Erosa, I think that he's just going to be the younger guy, the faster guy. Elkins definitely can make a resurgence maybe in the 3rd round if Erosa doesn't get him out of there. But I think that Elkins, he's a little bit too old, relies on his toughness a little too much, and I think that Erosa can find something, but the pick is going to be Erosa. Next up, Chase Hooper versus Jim Miller. The odds are way off on this fight. Chase Hooper should not be minus 900. Though I like him a lot in this matchup, I think that Hooper shouldn't be this big of a favorite. Chase Hooper, he's probably going to go for takedowns in this fight, just because I think that Miller's best chance is probably to knock out Hooper. Hooper is really getting into his own though, so I do have medium confidence in him, but I'd say that minus 900 is definitely too wide. Miller odds might be alright, but I definitely wouldn't bet on him either. Give me Hooper by submission in the 1st round, but honestly, this one definitely could go to decision. Next up, Virna Jandiroba versus Xiaonan. I'd say Virna Jandiroba has a really easy path to victory in this matchup. I think that she does get the takedowns. Jan has been taken down in the past, and I think that in her last win against Reyes, she wasn't able to get taken down, and she just pieced her up, and that definitely can happen in this matchup, but I think Jandiroba has some really good takedowns. She has some really good control, and she definitely can find a submission in this matchup. Virna, I really like her here. I have medium high confidence in Virna Jandiroba just to get the takedowns, and I think in her last win, she's kind of just shown that she does look for the finish, but she definitely isn't like a nasty finisher. I think that this fight does go to decision, and I think that Virna is just going to get the control time. She's going to get the takedown, so give me Virna by decision, medium high confidence. Next up, Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. I think that Sean Woodson is just going to use his range. He's going to use his height. Ige is really tough, so I think it's going to be really tough to get him out of there, but Woodson, he definitely has been coming into his own. I think that Woodson, he's just going to be the better striker. He's going to be able to land more. Ige, I think that he might have to get some takedowns in this fight to win. I can definitely see Dan Ige getting around, possibly. But I do like Woodson here. Not crazy confident in him just because this is a step up for him. But I like Woodson in this matchup to win by decision. Next up is Nikita Krylov versus Dominick Reyes. I think that Dominick Reyes can definitely knock out Krylov, but he hasn't really been put away by too many people. Also, Dominick Reyes, he hasn't fought a lot of people that go for takedowns, and I think that in this matchup, Nikita Krylov will definitely go for takedowns, and I think he can definitely find a submission or knockout with ground and pound. I like Krylov here to get the win. Stick to the game plan of getting takedowns, landing control time, looking for submissions, or getting some ground and pound going. So give me Nikita Krylov. Next up, opening the main card, Bryce Mitchell versus Jean Silva. Evil versus good. I think that Mitchell, as this fight goes on, I want to believe in him more, but honestly, Jean Silva, he's looking too clean. Mitchell leaves his chin out a little bit too much. I'd say his striking is a lot worse than Jean Silva. Jean Silva looks powerful. He looks like he's hard to take down, and especially he looks like he's hard to keep down. But Mitchell does have a pretty good ground game. He has good submission game. He has some good takedowns, but I think that Jean Silva is eventually going to find the knockout. I think he honestly finds him early, but Mitchell can hold him out, get some control time, because he definitely has good takedowns, but I think that Silva just needs a few moments to find that knockout, and I think that he does. So give me Silva by knockout. Next up is Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. I think that Pitbull is a bit not proven in the UFC, obviously, since it's his debut, but against Bellator fighters, honestly, I find it hard to rate Bellator as high. I think that Yair, he's been a top dog in the UFC. He's proven. He's went to a close fight with Max Holloway. He's coming off a back-to-back loss, so it isn't the best of looks. I think that Pitbull probably has to find the knockout or try to get some takedowns in this fight, just because that's how you beat Yair, is by takedowns and getting control. But Yair on the feet, he hasn't really lost to that many people. Rodriguez, I think he's going to be the cleaner striker here. I think he gets it done by decision. Next up is the co-main event, Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett, I think he's been rushed a little bit too much. I think that people are overrating his win against Bobby Green. Although it was a great win, he finished him quick. He made him shoot for a takedown when he's a striker, and snatched it up right quick. Found multiple submissions, got the triangle, got the armbar, broke his arm. But I'd say that he arguably lost to Jared Gordon. Pretty much everybody thinks he lost that fight. Started gassing in the Tony Ferguson fight in the third round. His cardio might be a little bit of a question. He's also saying that he's going to finish Chandler in the second round, which Chandler hasn't really been finished by many people. In the UFC, he got finished by Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. But I'd say that those guys are crazy tough. I think that both those guys would finish Paddy Pimblett. Chandler has just won against some straight killers. He won against Charles Oliveira 2 times, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. He knocked out Hooker, which is crazy tough. I know that Paddy keeps saying that Scousers can get knocked out, and I think that his confidence in him not being able to get knocked out is going to get him knocked out in this fight, just because he's willing to brawl. He has that confidence. He thinks he can take it. But Chandler, he's got some crazy power. He has a lot of first-round knockouts. I feel like this is too big of a step up for Pimblett. Even though this is a great step up, I think it's too much, just because Chandler's proven to be there with the best guys. And although he's lost to them, he's faced them. He's felt what they have to bring, and he survived against a lot of them. I think this one's going to be an entertaining one, but I honestly see that Chandler finds the chin of Paddy Pimblett early. In the first round is going to be my prediction. But I can definitely see this fight going late, just because both of these guys are crazy tough. And I think that they're going to put on a pace that's so high that they could just gas out and it be really slow. But I still favor Chandler to edge it out, just because he's just so gritty. Although a lot of people might not like him, he does whatever it takes to win. You know, if the ref's not pulling you off, if the ref's not taking a point, then, you know, it's not really cheating at the end of the day. And I think that Chandler, he'll do whatever it takes. And I just like him in this matchup, just because Pimblett lost / arguably lost to other opponents. Isn't looking the best against other people, so give me Chandler to win by knockout in the first round, but I can see him winning by decision as well. Medium confidence in him. Next up, the main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopes. Volkanovski is just getting disrespected so bad. I don't understand. He lost against the elite of the elite. He lost against the #1 pound for pound. Took him on 11 days notice. Got knocked out. 4 months later, he fought Ilia Topuria, who has a touch of death. Ilia Topuria knocked out Max Holloway after that fight, and no one's saying that Max Holloway's washed. No one's saying that Max Holloway's ass or bad or has no chin. So Volkanovski, he's lost against the elite of the elite, and I don't think that Lopes is. Lopes lost to Evloev, got taken down and controlled. Although he put him in some crazy submissions and had him in danger, he still ended up losing those rounds. In his Contender Series fight before then, he lost against Joe Anderson Brito, which he got taken down. He's susceptible to getting taken down. I think that Volkanovski can definitely get the takedowns if he's struggling on the feet. But on the feet, I think that he's just going to be way faster. His IQ is way better. I honestly don't see how he loses this fight just because by decision, he's never losing a decision. I don't think he's getting submitted. He's already proven how tough he is to just survive and grit it through against when he fought Ortega. Lopes, he definitely is good. He's exciting. He's powerful, and that's probably his best thing in this fight is that he has a power advantage. But I think people are writing off Volkanovski and writing off his chin. I think that if you think that Lopes knocks out Volkanovski in the first or second round, which is the only way I can possibly see Lopes winning this fight, if you think that, then you have to say that Volkanovski should retire, that he's done, because if he's getting knocked out by Lopes in the first or second round, then his chin is just completely gone, and he would get knocked out by a lot of people in the UFC. And you know what? Lopes doesn't have that insane power because he did drop Ortega but wasn't able to knock him out. Dan Ige went to a decision with him, and you know what? As the competition gets a little bit better, he starts to go to decisions. He starts to be a little bit less dominant. And Volkanovski, he's only lost to the elite of the elite. He's still beaten Max Holloway 3 times. He's beaten the GOATs. He's beaten the best. I think that Volkanovski is just going to dominate Diego Lopes. He's going to beat him everywhere. He's going to do whatever he wants. And you know what? He's taken more than a year off. He's had time to recoup, regenerate, game plan. He's been itching to get his belt back. And you know what? I favor him. I'm really confident in him to get this win. I can definitely see him winning by decision, but I think that Volkanovski is trying to put a statement here, and I think that he finds the knockout in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. The prediction is going to be Volkanovski by 4th round knockout, but I honestly see him putting on a pace. I think that Lopes is only live in the 1st or 2nd, and Volkanovski is going to be able to survive that. He's going to be able to gas out Lopes, and he's going to start piecing him up. And I think that Lopes is either going to get taken down and finished on the ground by ground and pound, or Volkanovski is just going to outwork him, outpace him, tire him out, and start connecting a lot of combos and finding a knockout that way. So give me Volkanovski by 4th round knockout. Don't worry about the way of method. Volkanovski moneyline is just the freest bet. It's the freest thing. I'm huge on Volkanovski in this fight. Volkanovski is still the best guy in the division since Ilia Topuria left, so give me Volkanovski and Volkanovski by domination. That's going to be my quick picks breakdown on UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Lopes. Thanks for watching.